Welcome back to the Silver Lining, where it's no filler, no fluff, but we keeps it a buck. And this is an emergency live we're doing, man, because the Orlando Magic
Emergency.
just made a crazy trade. They
Crazy
acquired
thing.
Desmond Bane. They gave up Cole Anthony. They gave up Caldwell Pope along with 4 first-round picks. Just gonna give a quick breakdown. They gave up the looks like the 16th pick in this draft upcoming. Um, a 2028 first round pick unprotected, 2030 first round pick unprotected, and in 2029 it's going to be a lightly protected first round pick swap. Um, so look, man, I'm the Magic fan here, so I'll start it, man. I don't quite know what to think about this. That's a lot of draft capital we gave up. The one pick that I really didn't want to give up, we actually had the rights to the Phoenix Sun, the worst of the Phoenix Suns and the Washington Wizards pick at next year's draft. That's the 2026 that we gave up. And that's just tough because that could end up being a good pick because the Suns and the Wizards might be awful next year. So that would have been a really good pick to have. So didn't really want to give that one up, man. Um, Cole Anthony, I'm a big Cole Anthony fan, but it was pretty obvious that the coach just wasn't gonna. I mean, he didn't play any minutes in the playoffs. Like they played him a cover every. He just didn't. Our coach is pretty much if you can't play defense, you can't get on the floor. He's like a new Stan Van Gundy. That's pretty much how Jamal Mosley is. If you can't
Basically,
help me defensively, then I don't give a shit how many shots you can put in. You ain't getting in. That's pretty much kind of what it was. And he did not play in the playoffs. Caldwell Pope was somebody who I had high hopes for. Defensively, he was on point, but he just could not get the jumper going. I think Desmond Bane fits in perfectly with this just because he's a guy that can score, and we desperately needed perimeter scoring. We needed it badly. And I mean, he's a tough defender as well. So having him and Jalen Suggs in the
even
backcourt
so.
next year, that sounds good. That sounds great. I mean, so the hope is that Desmond Bane can really give us a lot of what we need on the perimeter as far as scoring, and we don't lose much defensively. So I don't know. It's tough because I don't hate it because we got exactly what we needed, but that's a lot of draft capital to give up. Kurt, what's your thoughts on that? Because y'all two on the outside looking in, I'm looking at it like a hardcore fan. I'm on the outside, y'all on the outside looking in. So, Kurt, what do you think of the trade?
Um, Number one is shot, right? Just a shot. I didn't even
Yeah,
know they can trade before the
yeah,
finals was over. I didn't even know that was possible. That must be some new CBA
yes.
agreement or something, right? Season ain't even fully over and we trade. But yeah, as far as the actual trade, it was what y'all needed. A 3-point shooter, perimeter scorer, and he can defend. Underrated passer, and the one guy who's been consistent for Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Ja's been in and out the lineup. He's dealt
Right.
with a few injuries here and there, but for the most part, not gonna work. I don't want him to get hurt. For the most part, he's been the most consistent person in Memphis. Now, if I'm Orlando, I'm saying not just the type of player, but the actual fit. Tough, rugged, in your face, can play with his back to the basket, depending on his matchup. Not a guy that has to dominate the ball to get buckets. Just a perfect player. And I, Cole Anthony, I always said, I know that's your man's Reg, but I always told you like he got to go. It didn't work. Caldwell Pope. Caldwell Pope was only mentioned. Listen, Caldwell Pope was
No.
only there to make the contract. The only reason Caldwell Pope is even in the trade is to make the contract legit, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you give away 4 first-round picks. Now, if you're an aging team like LeBron was, like last year when we made those trades and LeBron was 30 something, then it matters. Okay. But Paulo Banchero is like what, 22, 23 years old, right? How old is Paulo? I know Franz Wagner, he's only like 22, 23, 24. When you're young, when the core of your team, like we know we want to move forward with, well, y'all know, I'm sorry. Y'all know y'all want to move forward with Paulo. Y'all know y'all want to move forward with Franz, okay? That's going to be the core that y'all build around. You add Jalen Suggs, the physical defender who can score sometimes, and he has every year he becomes a little bit better offensively.
Yeah, he was solid offensively before he got hurt last year for sure.
Right. So if you put him with Desmond Bane, two good two-way players, and then so I don't really what 2030 is the last pick. That's
Yeah.
4 years from now, 4 or 5 years from now, right?
Yeah.
5 years, you might have a champion. You might have 2 rings with this team. You know what I'm saying? If Paulo continues to progress,
Right.
if Franz continues to progress, you didn't have to get rid of Jonathan Isaac, right? You was able to keep Jalen Suggs, and now you add what you really needed, and that's a legit perimeter scorer. All you gotta do is set him a screen. Let him come off the screen. He's good off the pick and roll. He wants the ball in the clutch situations. I I understand you saying it's too much draft capital, but how much draft capital do you need with a young team? And guess what? Now Anthony Black can play more. There's no Cole Anthony in his way.
Yeah.
So I feel like yes, I will agree for a guy that's not like an all NBA, all star, perimeter, a perennial all star every year, 4 draft picks is a bit much. But if you want to go by the fact that y'all really don't need draft picks, now I ain't gonna say you don't need draft picks because you always need draft picks, but the nucleus of your team is young. So
Yeah.
draft picks don't really matter. And you already are a playoff caliber team when healthy. So even the draft picks that you would accumulate probably going to be 24, 25, 26 anyway. So I just think it was a good pick. My question is, what is Memphis going to do? Because you traded your most consistent player for 4 picks. That's a clear indication that maybe they are about to start rebuilding and breaking it up.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
a
what I'm
good point.
saying? So I
That's a
don't
good
know.
point.
I don't know. But for the Orlando Magic, as long as Desmond Bane stays healthy, knock on wood, I don't see how this doesn't work out in y'all favor. I don't. This might have made y'all a top 3 or 4 team in the East.
Stan, what do you say?
I like the trade. I like the trade for Orlando because it gives them exactly what they needed. I know the first round picks is a lot. It is a lot. 4 first round picks for Desmond Bane. You know, considering that that's how many first round picks the Knicks gave up for Mikal Bridges and what was given up for Gobert. It's a lot.
It's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that
What is
The
not
bad.
going,
that
when you
bad?
look at
But
it that way, it is the going rate, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
it's
That's a
just the
good
way.
point.
It's just the way the league. It's just the way the league is now. The league is now operating in terms of draft picks and the valuableness of draft picks. Now, for Orlando's case, like Kurt said, your team, the nucleus of your team is young, so you don't. I don't want to say you don't need them because you always need draft picks, especially when you're a team that does not get free agents, doesn't get free agents like that.
Right.
You need to build your team some way, right? But your team is built the nucleus. You know what I'm saying? Your 2 best guys are homegrown guys. So you put Bane with those 2 guys, with Franz and Paulo, that's a damn good three-headed monster there.
Yeah.
Bane's an excellent player. Bane was probably the best player in Memphis last year. Again, John, it feels like it does feel like Memphis is looking to pretty much blow that team up. And I'm not sure if Ja's gonna be the next one to go. But if I'm Memphis, I'm probably listening to offers. I think at this point you just have to say, I think we've gone as far as we're going to go with this nucleus, and let's try something else. We fired the head coach halfway through the season. Let's try something else. I don't think so. Them trading Bane might be a sign that that's what they're going to do, and I think Ja will be the next. I do think they're going to entertain trade offers for Ja Morant. So for Memphis' side, it feels like this is the beginning of a reboot. I think they feel like in this conference with these teams out here, Oklahoma City's not going nowhere. Minnesota's not going nowhere. Luka's going to be with the Lakers, hopefully for the long term. The Clippers are always going to be there. The Nuggets are still there. It's just like, you know what? Fuck this shit. We can't compete with these dudes. Fuck it. Let's just blow it up and try to rebuild. I think we've gone as far as we're going to go with these guys. From Orlando's perspective, it's a good trade because you're getting a bona fide all-star caliber player to go along with your two already all-star caliber players. And you still got Suggs, you still got Jonathan Isaac, you still got some Anthony Black, who, like Kurt was saying, can play now more with Anthony gone.
Yep. Yep.
So to get Desmond Bane for basically a bunch of draft picks, the corpse of Caldwell Pope and Cole Anthony, it's not a bad trade. It's not a bad trade.
And it says we want to win now. We trying to
that's
win
what
now.
it said. Yeah.
That's basically what you're saying is the magic of putting your cards on the table. Say, look, we had a shitty season, injury riddled season, and even with all that, we still gave the Celtics a fight. It was a 5-game series, but it was a fight regardless. So you figure, you know what? How far are we off? We bring in Desmond Bane, who's a legit all-star caliber, 3-point shooter, scorer, can get to the basket, create his own shot, good passer, and a great defender, really good perimeter defender, which adds on to your team of defenders.
Yeah.
Shit, it's a good trade to me. The draft picks, yeah, that's a lot. But that's just the going rate now. You're just looking at like if Bridges gets 4 picks, Durant got what 4 or 5 fucking picks. Gobert got the treasure trove of picks that they got for Gobert.
Jeez.
That's just the golden rate at this point. So you just say, you know what? That's the cost of doing business. We have a young team, we have a young nucleus, but we want to win right now. So that's what you do. And again, for Memphis, you get 4 first-round picks from Orlando. If they add a pick swap, I mean, Orlando's going to be competitive for the next few years.
Yeah.
So it's a good trade for Orlando, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's true. I just think that I'm always just very paranoid when you start talking about trading picks in years that it's hard to foresee what the future will look like. I mean, we talk about a 2030 pick. Like who knows what the world's gonna look like in 2030? I mean, right now we can say that we'll be a competitive team, but who knows? Like, and when you make them unprotected, a season can just go down the drain just because of injury. So, you have one of them seasons, where like we had this year, where I think we're a better team than a 7th seed, but the whole team got hurt, and so we ended up where we ended up. And when you put no Trojans on the picks like that, it's just it can, you know what I mean? You just have no idea. Somebody ends up getting hurt, and it's like all right, man, we lost a lot of our players, but that's okay because even though we had a bad season, it can benefit us because like all right, now we got the 15th pick in the draft, or the 14th pick in the draft, and it's like, oh no, we don't because we traded it. That's kind of my thing. Like, but I get what y'all saying. I'm not saying Desmond Bane is a great fit. He fits in perfectly with us. It's exactly what we need, and it's the thing that we don't. Because one of the things that I thought was going to happen this offseason, we're going to make some trades. I knew we were going to make some trades. We're going to make some trades for some guys that are offensive players, but we're going to have to give up a little bit defensively. That's kind of was my thought going into the offseason. Like we're not going to be that good defensively against. We're going to have to give some of that up. So this trade, I mean, I don't know if Bane is to the level of Caldwell Pope as a defender, but we don't lose that much. You know what I mean? Caldwell Pope was phenomenal defensively last year.
I get what you're saying about not knowing the future. Like when you said that, it made me think about the Spurs, right? In 1996, they won 62 games.
Yep.
Nobody thought that they would be drafting Tim Duncan number 1 2 years later.
Right.
David Robinson got hurt. Right. Whole season went down the drain, and they drafted Tim Duncan the next year. Didn't even need Tim Duncan. They was a 60-win team as long as David Robinson is healthy. I get what you're saying, so you never know. I totally understand that. But I'm gonna just be honest with you, Reg. Y'all don't have a lot of options. It's not like people are clamoring to come to Orlando.
Right.
And as good as Paolo is and as good as Franz, as good as they can be, they're not the type of superstars that guys are going to say, I want to play with them. Like a guy would want to play with Giannis. You would want to play with Joker.
Right.
You would want to play with Anthony Edwards. Paolo is amazing. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna just be honest. My opinion of Paolo, when he on his shit, he's the closest thing we have to LeBron. With that ball handling, passing ability at that size, and that athletic ability, and he's fast. You know, so I think he's the closest thing we have to that LeBron archetype. However, he's not there yet. Franz Wagner, he is just talent. He's just raw potential right now. He goes out there, look great one night.
Yeah.
Desmond Bane is going to be Desmond Bane every night. You know, didn't he average like 25 or 26 or something this year? Something like that.
I'll look it up.
Without John in the lineup, without John in the lineup, he was consistently around 20, 25 a game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Put 20, if you add 20 points a game, a consistent, you know what? I ain't even want to say 25. Give a consistent 18.
Yeah,
he averaged the 2 guard for Orlando Magic.
He averaged last year 19, 6, and 5.
Yeah, but I remember, but without John in the lineup,
yeah, for sure,
it goes up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you put that 19 a night, y'all would have beat the Celtics if y'all would have got 19 a night from a 2 guard. That's how competitive those games were with the Celtics this year in the playoffs. And this is what I'm saying, you don't lose nothing. You can't lose what you don't have. I know you're saying we could potentially draft players in the future, but you don't have those players now. So as of this moment, you did not lose anything. Cole Anthony, and listen, Anthony Black is going to be better than Cole Anthony was. I'm predicting that right now. That whole come out the bench, he might be the starter. He might be the starter just so you can flex Jalen Suggs. You see what I'm saying? And then you give up Caldwell Pope, who was a disappointment.
He was. Caldwell Pope.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't lose anything, and then you improve on what you have. Listen, if this team at least makes it like a game 6 of a round 2 next year, at least, because I ain't even gonna lie, if Desmond Bane gonna be where he gonna be, and y'all gonna be healthy, y'all might be as good and talented as anybody in the East. You understand? If you gonna get that 19 to 20, and y'all gotta stay healthy. Like Jonathan Isaac is the most underrated player in the league because he's always on the bench. You see what I'm saying? He's one of the most people don't even know that this man legitly can play 1 through 5.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like, y'all stay healthy and Desmond Bane is what he is, then this trade, bro, might be changing things, man. You know what I mean? In the East. This is a monumental trade for y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm kind of happy for the Magic.
I mean, if you think about it, the East is pretty much, I don't want to say it's wide open, but if you think about the Celtics, the Celtics are kind of, they're kind of a weird situation because of the cap situation with the guys they have, and now Tatum's out for, you would assume, all of next season. I know there's been some talk about Tatum being ready to go in January.
No, please don't do it. Don't do it.
I would reckon, yeah. If I'm the Celtics, I'm just going to just sit his ass down. Say, you know what? We'll see you in October 2026. You're not playing. Don't risk it. He's too young. He's too talented. Too valuable to the franchise. You're paying him $300+ million. Do not rush him back. But that's probably what's going to end up happening because that's what these teams do. That's what these guys do. Like I guarantee you go see Kyrie probably before January this year. These guys are maniacs when it comes to rehab, and they're going to come back earlier. But if I was Boston, I'd let Tatum get right for real. But if you look at the East, it's open. If the Celtics are going to be down, and again, that team may not be the same next season, even with Tatum, regardless.
The Bucks will be down. Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen with Milwaukee and Giannis? Who knows? The Pacers are good, but do you look at the Pacers as unbeatable?
No,
I don't.
No. I see them as being better than everybody else in the East at this moment, but they're not unbeatable. No.
Right.
No, absolutely not. They're not unbeatable. The Knicks, just changed coaches, and their coaching search has been a complete disaster.
Yep.
Because all they've been doing is calling other teams as coaches. Dude, what the fuck are y'all doing? These guys are under
Right.
contract. What are y'all doing?
Right.
Why would you call Dallas and say, "Hey, can we interview Jason Kidd for a coaching job?" No.
No. No.
Why would you call Houston? Can we
Yeah.
interview a Duke? No.
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 Yes, I see what you're saying as far as the East being open. I definitely see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
the conference is open for a team like Orlando to take a leap and
Yep.
get into the top 3, top 4 of the conference. So, to me, the draft picks be damn. It's a good trade. Bane's a great player. Bane's good. Like Bane's really good. He's underrated to
Yes.
me. He's
Yes.
really
And they was
fucking good. Really good.
and they was this close. Listen, they was this close to being a top 3 or 4 team. Period. When healthy, like they could play
I
with
thought they were.
anybody when healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
thought, yeah, when the season started, I thought Orlando was looking like shit. They might be a top 3, 4 seed in the
Yeah, it
East.
looked like it for the
The way it
injuries came
started.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the injuries, then they got crippled.
Yep.
And again, those year from hell, that year from hell, where your team just can't get right. That's with them. So you assume that won't happen next year. So shit, that's a good trade to me.
It's a
Like I
good
said,
trade.
the draft picks be damn. You understand the draft picks? That's a lot of
Yeah.
draft picks. But the trade itself is fine because you getting a better player than what you had. You're getting rid of 2 guys that were good role players, but you're getting a really good player, third, a guy who could be a number 1 option if you lose Paulo or Franz for injury. Bane can
Yeah.
step right in and be a number 1 option. He was doing that for Memphis
He
the
was.
last couple of years
Yep.
because Jaws,
He
of
was.
course, Jaws played the hokey pokey with the lineup the last couple of years. So Bane was the guy for them for most of that time. And even when Ja was out there, Bane was still putting up
Yep.
tremendous numbers offensively and defensively, being really good.
Yep.
It's a win for Orlando. To me, it's a win for Orlando. It's an absolute win. Your team got infinitely better today. It's a good
Yep.
trade. Should be happy.
Oh yeah, sure.
And look, this is what I'm saying. Desmond Bane, like, what he been in the league, what, 4, maybe 5 years? Like, he might not even be in the prime of his career.
Right.
He's
You know what I'm
27.
saying? Like,
He's 27 years old, so he's probably about in his prime,
he,
probably.
he probably is approaching. He approaching it.
Yeah.
If he's not in it, he's approaching it.
Right.
But Desmond Bane and Paulo off the pick and roll next year,
Yeah.
mismatch country, mismatch country. That's mismatch country. You know, so and then y'all can run small ball with Paulo and Franz at the 4 and 5 now. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It can look real ugly. It could get real ugly. Y'all could listen. And Desmond Bane, he's physical strong. To sometimes you can put him at the 3, depending on the teams. So y'all can have a small ball lineup with Suggs, Black, Bane, Wagner, and Paulo on the court at the same.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That would be crazy.
That's pretty
Crazy.
I know they experimented with some of that last year, but like Caldwell Pope, I don't know what he could not get it going last year, man. It was like I was excited when they made that trade for KC when they signed KCP, but he could not make shots last year. I don't know what happened, man. So yeah, it's a clear upgrade in that spot, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But I'm assuming the Magic probably aren't done. There's probably another trade coming, man. Because like I'm sure they're not going to put another offense on the floor they did last year. They did keep because we had 2 picks in this upcoming draft. We were picking 16 and 25. So we still got pick 25 and take a flyer on the guy. So we'll see what
This is
happens.
only one thing I'm worried about. This is the only thing I'm worried about, yo.
Mm-hmm.
This is it, yo. I don't want to say this, yo. E. Francis, Vince Carter. Orlando is where perimeter players normally go to die, man.
No, Vince Carter was good, man. He was good for us that year.
Vince Carter played like 20 games that year, bro.
No, he was old, Joe. Oh, damn,
No, but he played well that year, though. That year we lost.
Like,
that's the year we lost. We lost to Boston in the Was it the East Finals or semifinals? I forget. But we were good that year. Like there are some Magic fans that actually debate if that Magic team was actually better than the one that went to the finals the year previous. Remember the year previously we had Hedo Turkoglu. Yeah,
Turkoglu was that dude.
He was
Turkoglu was
clutch,
that dude.
man. He was clutch. So there are people that actually debate if that team was actually better. People debate, even though that team went to the finals. Remember, we went to the finals. Again, that team was dope, but Boston didn't have KG in that East Finals, if you remember. We did take a chance with LeBron and whatever, but yeah, people debate it. But no, Vince Carter was good, bro. So nah,
he was all right. I'm just saying, bro. I just hope, like Caldwell Pope was a great. Caldwell Pope was a great shooter before last year. And then he came in and
well, he was.
Steve Francis was dunking on people, yo. He was laying niggas out. The next year in Orlando, he looked washed. The next year, he was washed.
He looked okay the first half of that season. I remember that season. Well, he looked good the first half of the season, but then what happened was they traded Cuttino Mobley because we made the trade. We traded McGrady. We got Francis Mobley
and
Calvin Cato, and like at first it looked good. Then for whatever reason they traded Cuttino Mobley for Doug Christie, and everything just fell apart when they did that. It just fell apart after that. But
yeah, bro, y'all have had some questionable moments. Y'all have had some questionable moves, but this right here, bro, this right here is a clear sign that somebody putting their thinking caps on upstairs. You know what I'm saying? We can't miss players that we never had.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So and look, 2030, Paolo won't even be 30. I think Paolo is like 23 years old, bro. I think he's like 23 years old, bro.
Yeah,
how old is he?
I'm looking now.
What's up, baby?
I need to leave out.
You want to say Happy Father's Day to the fathers real quick, my sister?
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
How old is he, Reg?
22 years old.
22? Yeah.
Man, please,
in 5 years, in 5 years, he'll just be approaching his prime.
Yeah, it's facts. And
so
Franz is 23.
Oh my God! How old is Jalen Suggs?
Jalen Suggs is probably the same age as Franz Wagner. They was in the same draft. I'll double check though.
Yeah, but I think Jalen played like 2 or 3 years in Gonzaga. No, I don't know if he was one or done. I don't know if he was
right. He's 24.
It's still your core of your team is still under 25. So fuck them picks, y'all. Fuck them.
Yeah, that's what they saying. We want that's what this is the players that we need to move forward. Now, I don't know what y'all gonna do with Wendell Carter.
I mean, I guess he'll still be there. He was good in the playoffs, and he's on a good contract.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've always had my questions about Wendell Carter, so you know more about it than I do. So I trust you.
Yeah, I mean, he was fairly unimpressive throughout the regular season, but he did play pretty well in the playoffs. I mean, I will say coming out of Duke, I did have higher expectations for him. He never really developed into that stretch big man I always thought he had the potential to be. Like, he's been solid, but I always thought that he was going to be better than he was, honestly. I was high on him in that draft, honestly. So I don't think he ever quite panned out to what I thought, but he's been solid. I think he'll be around. I
thought he would be like a Al Horford.
I did too. That's exactly right. That's exactly what I thought. Yes.
Yeah, that's how I think him. But it ain't quite happening like that.
Quite click for him, but he's been solid. But yeah, I guess they're taking the LeBron approach. Fuck them picks.
Let's win now. Because look, if we win now we can attract other pieces. We can get those. Now all y'all away. Listen, y'all are like 2 mid-level exception veterans away from being a legit, you know what I mean? Like, what if y'all go get Chris Paul for a mid-level exception? You see what I'm saying?
Man, Chris
What if
Paul
y'all?
is he's WASH at this point in terms of wash horse. Paul, he can barely move. He can't even get up and down the court right, man. I don't know about, but I guess
But you understand what I'm
That's
saying?
what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah,
understand
you
what you're
need that
saying.
great
Just not Chris
veteran.
Paul, bro. Chris Paul's
Yeah, maybe
washed, bro.
Chris Paul was a bad example.
No, yeah.
I'll
Honestly,
admit to
I
that.
would take him as a locker room guy right now for sure. Why not? Why the hell not? You know.
Man, Chris Paul's a Hall of Famer, man. He's gonna be a locker room guy at this point of his career. Come on now.
Well, I mean,
It's a
that's
Hall of
normally
Fame.
what happens, though,
Yeah.
Stan.
Yeah.
That's normally what happens, Stan. They become locker room guys. You know, but and plus he chasing the ring. Chris Paul ain't trying to retire, bro. He trying to play 3 or 4 more years, bro.
Yeah.
You know he is.
I don't see that happening, but okay. I don't. From what I saw from Paul last year, he was fine with San Antonio, but he only could give him about 15, 20 minutes a game. That's all he has left. But again, I
That'd
guess
be
as a
good
locker
for
room
Orlando,
guy
though.
for Orlando, I can see it. I guess, but
Yeah.
he's washed, man. I'm sorry. I love Chris Paul. I don't want to see him like this, man. But he's
I won't see him like this.
I don't know.
I
I don't know
don't.
how it would work. I don't know how it would happen. I don't know how it would happen. I don't know what would have to shake to make this happen. What I'm
Yeah.
about to say,
Yeah.
but the player that y'all need right now, the player that will come in and turn y'all into an instant contender, if healthy,
Yeah.
Drew Holiday. Y'all need that type of veteran leadership.
And not with that contract he got.
Yeah, well,
Not with
that's
that
why I say I
contract.
don't know. I'm about to say I don't know
That
how it's
con-
gonna happen. I said I don't know how it's gonna happen.
It
I
ain't
don't
I don't
know
know how
how
the
it's gonna happen.
Celtics.
But
Yeah, the
y'all need
Celtics
that
gotta make some
caliber.
decisions.
Y'all need that
That's a
caliber
lot.
of veteran. Y'all need that
Yeah.
caliber of veteran.
Yeah.
Y'all get
And
2 of them. Yeah.
All right. So on the Memphis side, y'all are pretty much saying this is pretty much the first sign to it's going to be.
feels like it.
Yeah.
Feels like this is the
Yeah.
beginning of a rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know, Ja, I love Ja. And normally it would be like, yo, ain't no way they trading Ja. But they just traded Luka Doncic, so anybody can get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, once that Luka trade went through, bro, it ain't nobody safe in league history no more, bro. You know what I mean? If there was an untouchable player in the league other than Giannis, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. So I think what they should do is they should trade Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Lakers.
Why not?
So we could get our big man.
Why not?
We just ain't got no picks to give him. So
Yeah, I don't know what you would trade for him. Yeah, it'd have to be Austin Reeves. I mean, that's your most.
yeah, but I don't know if that contract, that
Austin
contract.
Reeves has a good. That's why I wouldn't want to trade Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves has a good contract based on his production. Like I was
Exactly. That's why
surprised at the time when he
I
said.
don't
That's
want
why
to trade him.
I wouldn't want to trade him.
I
But
don't.
that's your
I
most
don't want to trade him at
valuable.
all. Yeah, because he's way more valuable. If I'm going to trade Austin Reeves, I'm trying to get something valuable in return that's
So
going
you
to help
mean
us put over
a
the top for the
defensive player
title.
of the year? A
Yeah,
center that's a defensive player of the year ain't enough. That's all we need is Jaren Jackson Jr. A big man that can defend, shoot threes, and finish at the rack. That's all we need. If we had Jaren Jackson Jr. this year, we mess around would have been in the finals. You see what I'm saying? That's all we need. Them niggas kept getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound after offensive rebound. Rudy Gobert looked dominant. We made Rudy Gobert look like Wilt Chamberlain.
You did,
No,
man.
no,
They do like
bro.
20. They
No,
do like a
bro.
27-24 in a closeout game.
No,
And I'm
come
like,
on,
this
bro. That
is.
man
I'm
had
like,
the
this is.
game
I'm
of
like,
his
this
life.
is. I'm like, this is fucking embarrassing. I'm like, this is Rudy Gobert had a 20-20 game, against us in a playoff game. 20-20. He grabbed every rebound. I don't know.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
rebound he got it. He got them all. He got every rebound, and we ain't had no answers. So yeah, the big man is a big problem for the Lakers. They gotta find one. I know it's easy to say that, but it's like they gotta find
Yeah.
someone.
You
Yeah.
put
If that
Jaren Jackson
means
Jr. right there. Think about it. Okay, we just traded Cole Anthony. Now they could get Austin Reeves. It kind of would make sense, right? Because you're starting over. You want to start over with something different than what you had. So you might say, okay, I got Cole Anthony and Austin Reeves as my starting front court because I'm a trade Ja Morant, right? And get more picks. Bro, look at OKC. They turned Russell Westbrook, Paul George into hella picks. You see what I'm saying? And now look, they turned that into Shea, Dub, Chet, K-Son. That is what Memphis is going to. That is what they're trying to do. That is what the
Yeah.
Pistons did
Yep.
through the draft. The Rockets
Yep.
through the draft. OKC through the draft. If you're not, that's why I always say, Dallas need to get rid of AD and Kyrie. Go get the draft picks. It's gonna be 2 or 3 years before Cooper get his foot in the door anyway. Why not give him a J-Dub? Why not give him a Chet? Why not give him a K-Son? Why not give him a Lou Dort that he could grow with instead of these old niggas that's gonna be gone in 3 years anyway?
It's a fair point, man. Honestly.
Do you want to be? Because listen, if they keep Kyrie, Cooper, and AD, this is my last point. I want to see this.
Yeah.
3 years, you're gonna be in the lottery anyway. So in 3 or 4 years, do you want to be a lottery team or do you want to be the Houston Rockets? Do you want to be the Detroit Pistons? Do you want to be the OKC? Because Kyrie and AD ain't going. Kyrie can't do it for 3 more years. You think AD got 3 more years on them knees?
It's fair, bro. What you're saying is fair. It is. It is.
So-
When you really think about it, it is fair.
So in 3 years, do you want to be OKC, who started with this young talent and took their lumps? Do you want to be the Indiana Pacers, who started with young players and took their lumps? They got rid of everybody. They got rid of Sabonis. They got rid of Paul George. They got rid of Victor Oladipo. Now
Yeah.
look at the Pacers.
Yeah, you're right. It's fair. What you're saying is fair, man. I can't argue with it, man.
So if I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, I would, if I want to move on from Jaren Jackson Jr., I would have no problem, being that I already got 4 picks
Yeah.
from
And
Orlando.
then
I would have
pick you
no
would get-
problem.
then the picks you would give in a theoretical Ja Morant trade, you would get even more picks.
Even more
And
picks.
add
Oh
Austin
my
Reeves.
God.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not mad at it, bro. Like, honestly, it makes sense.
If these teams are willing to give up 5 years of draft picks for a player, I would let them. Unless I'm in the conference finals, like Houston, they gave Golden State all they could handle. They good. All
Yeah.
Houston got to do is get better.
Yeah.
All Detroit got to do is get better. They good. That's what you want to be in Dallas. So, and I think that's what Memphis is looking at right now. I think this is a step to make us believe they rebuilding, but it's not enough to say they giving up on it. You know what I'm saying? I do think this does indicate rebuild, but until they trade Ja Morant, it can't fully be a rebuild. You know what I mean? You have to start from scratch.
Yes.
So I don't know what Memphis is doing. I'm kind of puzzled.
We'll see. Because theoretically, if they keep Ja Morant and they have Ja Morant, KCP, Cole Anthony, and Jaren Jackson is still there, and what they have already, that's not a rock bottom team. So theoretically, they could
Right.
roll out with that. But then the question is, well, what we doing with this? I mean,
Right.
we will be a play-in team if we play to our absolute maximum, that's a play-in team. And
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
You keep Ja on that team, what they got right now, they said at best, they're player team in the West. They're playing team at best. That's at best. That's the best case scenario.
Best case scenario,
Everybody
yeah.
stays healthy. And when was the last time Ja Morant played more than 60 games in a season?
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
So the question is, what do you do with Ja? Where are you going? Let's play
Trade his
Memphis
ass.
Grizzlies
Trade his
GM. What
ass
are you going to
wherever.
do?
Yeah, I would trade him, but
Trade
I never saw this is so out of left field, so I never saw this Desmond Bane trade coming. So now I'm trying to think what team would theoretically trade for Ja Morant. Like I didn't think we'd be here. I didn't think I'd be doing this stream. I never thought about this. Right, honestly.
Well, I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. I was not surprised when I saw it because I figured Memphis was one of those teams that I was looking at like they're gonna be somebody to look at because they're gonna probably reevaluate their roster and look and say, what are we doing? Can we be competitive in this conference with this team? Given this conference and what it is with the studs in this conference, the Thunder are going to be around for a very long time. I mean, again, they're going to have financial things they're going to have to deal with at some point, but not now. Because there's going to come the point where we're going to have to pay these guys. And we all know where that.
Yeah.
So you think about it right now, Probably not the time. Thunder are too deep, too good. They're going to be at the top of the conference. Edwards in Minnesota, Luka with the Lakers. Denver with Jokic, who's still in his prime.
Yeah.
The Clippers will find a way to field a competitive team. And then you have the
I'm gonna tell you what
Rockets.
they need to do. I'm gonna tell you what they need to do. What Memphis should do. If I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, I just got Cole Anthony, Contavious Caldwell Pope. I'm buying him out. I'm gonna keep Cole Anthony, but Contavious Caldwell Pope. What we owe you 20 million. If you sign right here, we'll give you 15 million, and you could go look for a team.
He might have a bounce back year, man. He was historically bad. He can't. He
I'm
won't
gonna
play
tell
that
you,
bad again.
I know where John Morant
Nah,
goes.
yo.
I got the
Caldwell
John
Pope
Morant
was bad
trade.
last year.
I got the
Pope was
John
bad
Morant
last year in
trade.
Denver.
Oh, I thought he was decent enough.
Cole was bad in Denver last year, man. What are you talking about?
Oh,
His
okay.
last year in Denver, he was terrible. He couldn't make a shot to save his life.
If I'm Memphis Grizzlies, watch this. This makes a lot of sense. This makes an extremely. This trade actually can happen. If I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, right? I'm calling the Brooklyn Nets. They got money, they got draft capital, they got young players. I would trade this if I'm Memphis Grizzlies. I already got 4 picks from Orlando. I'm calling the Brooklyn Nets. I'm trying to either get Cam Thomas or I'm trying to get Nick Claxton and 1 or 2 of those first round picks. They still got picks from Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving trades, bro. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then they just traded Makai for more picks. They got more than enough picks. And then if you Brooklyn, it makes sense. We in New York, we get John Morant, ticket sales is going to go up 1,000%. So I think that's the move for Memphis. You go get Nick Claxton, you go get John or Cam Thomas, right? Now you're starting over with Cole Anthony, right?
I just put up the trade machine, bro. That you nailed that perfectly. That trade works perfectly. John Morant and Nick Claxton and Cam Thomas works perfectly salary wise, and like you said, they add some picks. That works. That's crazy. It's crazy you just pulled that up just like you just thought that just like that, and it works perfectly in the trade machine. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm saying, bro, that shit just be. That's where I'm trading. Or, well, I don't know if this makes sense. It really doesn't make sense. But if you're starting over, you're starting over. Trae Young, Giannis.
Wait, who would trade for Giannis?
I'll give you John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. right now for Giannis. Right now.
But what does that do? Like that?
That trade doesn't do anything right.
Yeah, it's gonna waste Giannis. It's gonna waste Giannis.
It's gonna waste Giannis. You put Giannis in the West. You put Giannis in the Western Conference.
Yeah. Really. I don't think Giannis would sign off on that. I don't think he would sign off on that.
The Nets,
I definitely know he wouldn't sign off.
The Nets got 3 first-round picks in this draft alone. They got 3 picks. They got 3 first-rounders in this draft.
Yo, let me get y'all draft. Let me get this year's draft and Nick Claxton, and I'm good. Let me get Nick Claxton in this draft. Y'all got 3 first-round picks. Y'all can have y'all future picks. I want the 3 this year. I want to start over this year. So take job.
Is that against the rules of the league? Can you trade that many picks in one draft?
You can. You just can't trade back to back. You can't trade back to back. You can't trade your own pick back to back. But yeah, you can trade.
Right.
Yeah, you can do it.
Wow. Bro,
yeah, if I was Brooklyn.
That's what I would do.
I would do it.
I would do that right now.
I'd do it right now. If I was Brooklyn, I would call it. In fact, I'm pretty sure Brooklyn's probably already made a phone call to Memphis. Because again, the league, people talk within the league. And if the league is waking up and seeing that Bane just got traded, I guarantee Memphis got calls today about Ja Morant.
Yep. I mean, if we doing this shit, this, imagine what actual GMs are doing.
I guarantee there's been some phone calls. Hey, what about number 12? What's going on with 12? I'm looking at them moving them. Because if you're looking at moving them, I might have an offer for you. I think Memphis is doing it.
If I'm Brooklyn, I probably wouldn't want to give up all those picks just because, okay, I got Ja Morant, but now I done lost Nick Claxton and Cam Thomas. So Cam Johnson. So now, like, what do I even have to go with Ja? Like, I need some picks so I can actually replenish the team. So I don't know if I would trade all three of my first. I trade maybe one of them and then trade another one in 2020 because it looks like they have multiple picks in 2027 as well. So maybe I give you one of those.
God,
And
wait.
yeah,
Niggas got picks for days.
yeah, they got they only have well, no, they got they have one in 2026. They have their own pick in 2026. Then in 2027, they have the Knicks pick, they have the Sixers pick, and of course their own pick. So yeah.
Oh, them boys, they about to have. Hold up. So you telling me they got 7 first-round picks in the next 3 years?
Yeah.
Bro, that should be illegal, bro.
It is what it is. Make trades.
Again,
If I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I will give them my highest draft pick this year and my lowest draft pick this year in the first round. I will give them Cam or Nick.
See, but then you don't have nothing. I guess you probably have to do it. You get a chance to get a star in Brooklyn, you kind of have to do it. So yeah, I'm with you. You kind of have to, but yeah. Yeah.
Now, if I'm Brooklyn, if I'm the Nets, I'm making that call today.
Yeah.
I'm making that call like today. Like, what's up with Ja, yo? Like, this is what we got for you. This is what we can offer you.
And that's a legit trade.
But do you think that but you think that at that point they're gonna like for Ja we want 4 first round picks. Like Desmond Bane just got us 4. What the fuck? Like we want for Ja,
but but y'all didn't give up a Nick Claxton or Cam Thompson.
That's facts.
Cam Thomas is like 25 points a game.
That's facts. Yeah. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like there's enough.
Yeah.
Toast. Oh, this nigga gave me a drink. Look, what I'm saying is, the Memphis Grizzlies, whatever they doing, they need to do it fast. Because you know how the NBA is. Once that first trade goes in, because you think Orlando was the only team trying to get Desmond Bane?
Right. It's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's the team that didn't get Desmond Bane, they looking for something else. You know what I mean? So now it's about to be that. It's about to be. I love it. That's one thing I love about the offseason, bro.
Yeah,
it's the trickle down effect.
It is.
Once this dude goes here, everybody else get to pick who they want. I love that. And what a way to make a splash, man. This is a great way to make a splash, man.
Yeah,
I just didn't know it was legal to trade right now. I didn't even know that shit.
Yeah.
I think the offseason is gonna be crazy. I really do. I think once you get to past the draft and 1st of July, it's gonna be crazy. Because I think it's gonna be a lot of guys moving around, a lot of teams trying to build title contenders right now. So I think it's gonna be a crazy offseason. Beyond the obvious names that we know that are gonna probably get moved. I mean, Durant we know is getting moved. Durant's gonna get moved.
Yeah.
Where Durant gets moved to is very interesting though, because there's been a number of teams I'm hearing about the Spurs, hearing about the Rockets, hearing about even OKC, the Knicks.
Yeah.
The Durant's gonna be interesting. Giannis is gonna be interesting, and then there's gonna be it's the trickle down effect. When does Devin Booker wake up one day and say, "What the fuck am I doing in Phoenix this year?"
You know what, yo? I think they got some dirt on Devin Booker or something, bro. Like they hid some crimes that he committed. You know what I mean? Cause I don't know why he's so loyal to him. I respect it.
It's fine. Look, it's fine. I got no problem with him being loyal to the team, but it's at some point you're just like, yo, what are we doing here?
Well, I mean, you got to see what they get back for Durant, because the thing is, the Durant trade's got to bring in salary, so you got to get some players. So maybe the Durant.
Yo, Memphis is in that. I mean, Phoenix, they are stupid. Let me tell you why. Because I would get rid of all of them. Do you know what you could still get for Bradley Beal? You know what you can get for Devin Booker? Do you know what you can get for Kevin Durant?
Well, you can't get nothing for Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is untradeable. He's untradeable, bro.
Oh yeah, because of the contract.
Untradeable.
Bill's the most untradeable player in the league right now, and that's saying a lot. He's the most untradeable player
And
in the league. Besides the fact he has no trade clause, so even if there was a desire to acquire him, he has to approve any trade. How the fuck he got that? I have no idea.
And plus, the Suns
What the
traded
hell?
away all their first round picks. So they don't even control their draft capital, so you can't even tank. You
Yeah,
got to
but you
try to
can.
do it.
Yeah, right. Dang. But
Can't
what you
even tank.
can do is you can acquire draft capital
You can,
right
but
now.
yeah,
Do you know what Devin Booker is on the market right now? If you get 4 for Devin for Caldwell Pope, or you can get you can probably get a decade worth of draft picks for Devin Booker, bro.
yeah, but
If you
what
could
is,
get that for Desmond Bain,
I agree.
But
imagine what you could get for
Booker
Devin
has to
Booker.
want to be traded, John. Booker has to want to be traded. That's the
Yeah,
thing. He has to go to them and say, "I want out," and I don't think he wants to do that because he's going to be
he
the
doesn't
guy
have
on that
to.
team. No, he didn't have to, but why would he want to stay there?
No, I'm saying he doesn't have to
That
demand a
team's
trade for them to trade him. That's what I'm saying.
Phoenix is not going to trade Booker unless he has to be traded.
Yeah,
They're not
Yeah,
going to trade him because
I wouldn't trade him either. I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't
yeah.
trade him.
Same with Giannis. I don't think Giannis is going nowhere. I don't think Giannis is willing to demand a trade. I don't think he's going nowhere either. Honestly,
Yeah, that's the thing. Giannis is not going to be traded unless he says to them, "I want to be
I wouldn't be
traded."
traded. Exactly.
He's not. They're not going to get up and. But they should, but they won't because
Yo,
of
do
the
you think
loyalty.
Luka? Do you think Luka said I want to be traded?
No,
No, yeah.
Luka
Yo,
was prepared to
since
play in
Luka
Dallas for the
Doncic,
rest of his
yo, you
life.
got to throw that trade. Yo, you got to
Yeah,
throw all of that out the window now, bro.
yeah.
You got to throw all that out the window, bro. Is nobody safe?
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe
hoping the
not,
Ravens
but
don't talk about trading Lamar Jackson, bro. It ain't nobody safe.
I think he's safe.
Yeah, I think
no, I
he's
don't
safe
think
as he could be.
you ain't got to worry about that. Lamar will be here forever, so
Yeah,
I don't
but I'm just
even
saying,
worry
ain't
about that.
nobody safe. Yo, they
Yeah.
traded Luka Doncic, bro. It's nobody safe in the NBA for sure. So what if I'm Memphis, I'm making that call to Brooklyn, number one. Okay. If I can't get Brooklyn, maybe a Toronto, see if I could start over with Scotty Barnes, which I don't think Toronto is going to trade
Nah.
Scotty Barnes. I don't think they are. But
I don't know what the hell Toronto's doing. To be honest with you, so y'all can explain that to me because I don't know what they're doing. You pay Scotty Barnes max money. He's not a max player. You trade for Brandon Ingram, and now you're gonna have to pay him max money. He didn't even fucking play last year. Now you gotta look at your signing Ingram to max money, and he's not. He don't play. What are they doing in
I think
Toronto?
Scotty Barnes. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of high up on Scotty Barnes. I don't think he's a max player today, but
I don't think he's a max player
2027.
today. Tomorrow, I don't know. I don't. I don't.
I think
I
2000.
don't.
I think in about 2 more years, bro, Scotty Barnes will be known as a top 5 most versatile player in this league.
Uh, I don't know what you've seen to say that, but I mean, I'll give you that, man. I ain't seen it. All I see is a mid-level guy, a guy, an
He
18
better
point
than
per
mid
game.
level now. He better
I
than
would
mid.
say no. I shouldn't say mid-level, but all I see is an 18, 5-5 guy, which is good. But for $220 million, Tim Toronto gave him, I don't know.
They didn't have a choice, though. They didn't have a choice.
That's the market, man. That's the going rate, man.
Sure, he had a choice. They ain't had to sign him, so it wasn't
Well,
like he
but
was up for a
Sam,
contract when they signed him.
you're saying, how it is, man. You when you get your a guy you drafted that high and he's panning out, you got to pay him. It's kind of is what it is. Like Franz Wagner got a bag too. He got a crazy bag as well. That's just the going rate, man.
And
And you
I ain't
think
gonna
he's
lie,
worth it?
Scotty Barnes has developed into more consistent player than Wagner.
Yeah,
Look, I'm not gonna argue. I won't argue the Barnes part of it. But Why the fuck would they trade for Brandon Ingram?
to put somebody
That
around.
I don't know. That's it.
Somebody around. Yeah.
When he's up for a contract. He's up for a
Yeah,
contract.
and they gonna pay it too.
So now you got pay. You're gonna have to pay it.
What did they
You're
give
gonna
up?
have to
What did
pay
they
it.
give up though?
I
What did
don't
they
even
give
remember.
up?
I don't even remember they gave it for Ingram. But it doesn't matter. The point is they traded assets for him. So now you have to pay him. You gotta pay him.
They believe in Grady Dick and them, bro. That's what it is, yo. They believe in Christian Coloco and them. You know how Toronto is, bro. They
The
try
Pelicans,
hard to develop people
the
because a lot of
Pelicans,
people don't come to Toronto. Nobody trying to come in a free agency, so they try hard to develop talent, and they trying to get guys that can fit a mold and develop. You know, so they trying to Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. They developed Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan the right way. Pascal Siakam was developed the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what they trying to do with Scotty and you know the rest of the guys. So.
The Pelicans got Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick for Brandon Ingram.
So a bunch of nothing, basically.
they basically was in there like, yeah, we got rid of that contract, shorty. They probably was happy as I don't know what. Because every last one of them players you just named, they're going to be released this offseason. We just got that money back.
All right, fellas. We're going to end it there, man. So, in closing, man, the Magic, man, is a blockbuster trade, man. I would say a blockbuster. I don't think ESPN's going to give a crap about it because it's not LeBron or something like that. But it's a big trade.
It's a giant trade.
It's a big trade. Looking forward to see how it pans out. And the boys in blue coming back next year. The boys in blue is adding another one. The boys in blue, we lock you up. We lock you up. That's how we going to end it, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Till next time.
All right.
Peace.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot. Good job.